Cool beans. Alright, so where we left off.
Close. Sleeping. We left off sleeping.
We left off after the party had gone through a little bit of shenanigans. Where we left off on Rithondi's ship, making its way putzing toward Ornica. Guess where we'll start is, everyone went to bed, so the ship's been sort of traveling overnight. You'll have to travel a little through the next day to get to Ornica, but morning comes. One by one, you wake up. What would you like to do?
So the ship's still traveling?
Yeah. So all our rings and stuff are now attuned, correct?
Yeah, everyone's now attuned to shit. Everyone's got their stuff.
Mel is just chilling on the deck. Probably putzing with something.
Mm-hmm.
And watching the air, probably. I don't know. She's just chilling.
I definitely made my way upstairs. Get some fresh air.
I'm asleep. Excuse me.
I'm assuming if Face and Rithandi switched at some point to sleep overnight, then he's actually piloting? Yes?
Yeah!
Courtney?
Well, just for giggles, what did I say? Just give me an Arcana check.
We will see how this goes.
If Face is flying the ship, Mel might actually be leaning back, watching him try to figure out how to fly, depending how this goes.
So afraid. Oh, that was not great.
Courtney, he's gonna break your phone! It wasn't me.
That's a 10.
That's a 10? Okay. So, rewinding to, maybe it's let's say it's Jesus. Let's say it's around, 2 or 3 in the morning. So, Berthandi, you're starting to get a little sleepy. Face is kind of snoozing next to you. You're like, alright. I gotta switch. I'm getting tired. You kind of, kick him. He wakes up a little bit. You kind of nod to him, just be I want to get some rest. Face to stand up, kind of crack and stretch a little bit, and Berthani, you watch, and he, rubs his hands together, and you're like, okay, Bae, do you remember what we talked about? And he's like, yeah, I know what we talked about, and you're like, okay. So, Face, claps his hands together, and puts one hand, not, on top of yours, but, to take your place on one side of, the control panel, and on the other, and you slowly pull your hands away. And for 2 seconds, you're like, okay. Because in the past, teaching him how to fly the ship has been a hard 50-50. Sometimes the ship takes off, and other times it's not been that at all. This is one of not those times. Face sticks his hands on the ship, and for 2 seconds you're like, okay, sleep is gonna come. And then, you know that feeling when, you hit, the drop of a roller coaster?
Oh.
He places his hands, and for a second the ship continues at this altitude, and then drops a good, 150 feet even.
I'm glad
You immediately slam your hands back on, and it settles itself back out.
Our room were like this.
Everyone's probably fallen out of their hammocks, to be quite honest.
The spinning around and getting stuck in.
My immediate thought was Mel was almost just gonna sleep on the deck. If she had fallen asleep on the deck, whoop! No more Mel! Bye, Mel! Bye!
And the rest of the ride proceeds like a person driving a stick shift for the first time.
Yeah. So you stable the ship back out, and you're like, okay, try it again. And he does. But it's not a great. It's a little. Just let it.
I thought that was an autopilot.
It has their foot on the brake a little bit too much. Because that's very, like, the way that I envision this connection with this ship kind of goes is that you're, like, propelling it with your mind.
Mhm.
And if you're a little nervous about it, the ship fucking knows and is like, I don't want to move if you don't know how to pilot me. So, it's been a little... It hasn't been the smoothest ride.
It wasn't the smoothest ride when she learned how to pilot either, so...
It's understandable, but now you have 3 passengers. So...
I'm gonna assume this was a bad dream and go back to sleep.
On the floor.
Nesrin hasn't, like, given up on life that much yet. He's still...
You got it, Faye. I'm just gonna curl up right here, and if you need any help, let me know, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, you got this.
Mel's gonna crawl back into her hammock. And she's just gonna message Base and go, please try not to kill us. Say goodnight and just go back to sleep.
I don't think it'll work now.
Actually, hang on, on that note, actually, you go to send message, and you kind of hit, like a mental door, and Base, you kind of feel a mental little knock.
Oh yeah. I let it in.
Oh yeah! Wait, what?
I let it in. It's fine.
I'm just like, please don't let us die tonight. Okay, thanks. I don't want to die tonight.
I send back a really casual fuck off. No.
Yeah.
She goes back to bed.
Okay. Sounds good.
Forgot about that.
I untangled from the hammock and take to the floor. Just like blankets, pillow. Okay, we're doing this.
That's right. I'm back with these guys. Okay.
Never a dull moment.
You good, Nesrin? You good over there? Okay, you're still breathing. That's good.
Step in the right direction.
I don't like this. Well, we won't be here much longer, apparently, so... We're almost there, Nesrin, don't worry. We're almost there.
Alright, so...
Pack the bag. You guys at least got to pack a bag before you came. It's not my fault that you didn't come prepared, man. No, we're going shopping. Oh, we're just gonna go shopping, and then we would take it easy, then we take off, and then you guys just had to go and get dragon napped. Yep, totally planned that. I just, you know what would make Nesrin's day so much better, and mine, and Hanz's. Plan it. I just really want to be kidnapped right now. Kidnap me, somebody. I get it. What did you need anyway? I just, wanted some clean clothes and some travel snacks and some books. And some paper. Travel snacks. We can get travel snacks and some books at the airport. It's fine. Like the little kiosk they got. What's it like? Oh god, it's a Harvard book. It's like, it's like yeah, I know exactly what it is. I'm imagining it. When they got like the peanuts and stuff there, we'll get some magazines there. It's fine.
Yeah, a little Skyport kiosk. Exactly.
The fantasy CNN store.
Yeah. Did I have trade goods? I mean, there's Fantasy Costco. Why can't there be Fantasy CNN?
Flipping through the fantasy
It's not
sky mall.
available yet, I guess.
Do they have trade-free goods there? Ooh, maybe we can get some Ornica shot glasses and an Ornica collar. It'll be like the shot glasses at the airport in Georgia that are like a tiny mason jar with a peach holder. They're toothpick holders. They can't be called shot glasses. They're toothpick holders.
Anyway.
Sorry.
Anyway, guys. So, it is now like 9, 10 in the morning. You're over halfway to, toward, like, the Ornica estate, toward the capital city. You're, like, just starting to crest amongst the mountains. Is there anything anyone would like to do before we land?
How you doing, babe? Do you want to try landing?
No. Not at all.
But, I mean, practice makes perfect.
In the middle of Ornica, you want me to practice landing?
No, there's a big lake right outside Hans's house. You just gotta aim for the lake. It's not like when I tried to land at Nezzy's and broke things. There's nothing to break there, it's just a lake.
Alright. Give it a shot, tell everyone to hold on.
Guys, Babe's gonna land the ship!
Oh, good. Okay, I'm going downstairs.
I'm gonna hold on to this hammock.
Stay close to me. At worst comes to worst, I've got Featherfall.
Don't you dare hurt the sky, Babe. You got this.
Nell goes inside. She can't fall out if she's inside. Just gonna hold on to. I'm asleep, actually. Yeah, I said I was still asleep. Good. I'll be inside if you need me. Like I said, don't want to die. And she just goes under. She goes in the boat.
Into the boat.
Into the boat.
Okay, so the time that you eventually start recognizing the mountains around, and you're getting closer to the capital city and Hans's estate. His estate is outside the capital city of and there's a giant lake, that then there's also forest behind this giant mansion-esque house. Give me that Arcana check.
Oh my god. I'm so afraid.
You got it, Babe.
I hope you got it, Bag.
It's a 5.
I almost did something too, and I should have done it, and I wish I had done
I was
it.
gonna say, I was just gonna inspire him before he
Yes,
rolled,
I
but
was
it's
gonna
too late now.
Too late. I'm gonna. Okay.
Oh god.
Oh, God.
Thus, I'm nervous. I'm glad I went inside.
So
Like, if she sees
Hi
it
there,
coming
Matt.
past you, she's gonna push him out of the way.
it's okay. So what? Just to tell you what I did, I rolled a percentile die to see how much of the ship lands in the water.
Oh god. Oh god.
So
How much? Like 2?
no, it's actually good. So
Oh my god.
Acid.
what? Alright, so you see Hans's house come in, like, you pass over the city, you recognize the mountains around, you see Hans's house come into view, and you see the lake. Base, you're feeling real apprehensive about this. You're like, okay, I'm gonna land, I've landed, like, again, it's been a hard 50-50 on landings before. You've done really beautiful, smooth landings, and other times, the hull of the ship's had to go through quite a lot. But this time you're like, alright, take kind of a deep breath, and you start to urge the ship downward, and it's very unsettling. It starts off real, like, jerky, and it's just kind of, I'm imagining when, like, a Tetris block starts to descend, and it's just kind of boop, 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 boop. But you eventually land there, and Verthani, you're very apprehensive, ready to just, like, push him out of the way and slam your hands down. But it starts in, like, you're getting close to the lake, and it looks like it's pretty good, you think you got it, but there's a big kind of crunching sound of, like, the front, like, tiny bit of ship just kind of crunches against the rock as it lands. The majority of the ship is in the water. Got a good 80% of the ship in the water. But the front hull now probably has a few sizable nicks in it.
I can fix that.
Are we taking on water?
No.
Okay. We're good, Nezrin.
I know you can't, Babe. It's okay. We're gonna be away from the ship. Someone here can take care of it while we're on our adventure. It'll be fine. And this way, no one's gonna fly it away.
Ugh. He's gonna let, like, now that it's in the water-ish, he's like, let it go. And not
Yep. Okay. So you guys have landed.
I'm gonna like stumble up and be like, okay, land, please.
Are we good? Are we good?
We're
Mel
good. We're
Mel
here.
peeks out the window, like, to see if we're actually on the ground.
Yeah. You see you're very
20% on
close.
the ground.
Yeah, you're on the lake's shore.
She'll pack up her stuff to get out.
I'm guessing I'm awake now.
If you're not awake, Mel has woken you up.
I'd be impressed if you're not.
I think the landing probably woke me up.
Probably. You're probably back on the floor.
I'd be like, hey, morning. Base landed. And just walk out.
The base dropped.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
That was beautiful.
Anyway.
Reluctantly put my armor back on. I have nothing else.
You have a backpack, I got you.
I have a backpack.
Let's go
Yep.
to the top.
Hanz, are you leading the way? I know the way here. I've been here before, but this is your house, so I feel like you should probably lead the way, right?
Well, if you point me in the right direction, I can do my best.
Here. I'm gonna hold on to his little claw. Be
Okay.
like, the house is this way.
Alright. Heading up the way.
Alright.
Face is looking at everything. Because I'm pretty sure I'm the only one who hasn't been here.
Potentially.
Desrin's
Yeah.
not been here.
Well, Nesbitt can't see it, so.
Right.
Mel will stand near Nezrin.
Mhm.
She's just kind of like hover and be quiet and just like be very like to herself right now. She's just
Okay.
like,
That means tripping over any rocks.
yep, got you.
Mhm.
Just grab, if you need to, just grab the shield.
Mhm. So, alright, so what you can see around you as Verthandi lowers the gangplank, it's kind of, it's at an angle, so you guys don't even have to jump in the water. But you all land.
Well, I kind of figured there was a dock, but we may not have landed there.
Not with
Never
the
mind.
landing, no.
But we're good.
A dock. Or there might have been a dock.
Oh.
So much for that kiosk, guys.
A pack of peanuts just floats by.
I really wanted an Ornica sweatshirt.
So actually, I have an image to go along with what y'all see because this was like a spot in New Zealand that we went to. And I was like, this is fucking what Ornica looks like. So give me a moment, please.
I remember you mentioning those when you went.
Really, where Lake Town was filmed in The Hobbit, is where I am at. This is what kind of Ornica looks like to me. I can find the correct image. There we go. So this is a real. It's a lake called Lake Pukaki. And this is where the scenes of Lake Town were filmed. If my phone will be here. There we go. So that'll send. But whatever. So you see just beautiful rolling mountains all capped in
There we go.
No.
There we go.
The sky today is very clear. It's blue. It's really, really pretty. And the Ornica mansion is a little ways away, but those of you who can see as you begin walking toward it, you eventually see a road that leads from the lake to the house. You get on the road and begin to make your way toward the house, toward the estate. As you approach there's a wall definitely that goes around the edges of the estate. But as you reach the gates that are sort of guarding this section of road, the guards at the top kind of look down and seeing Hanz among you call between themselves, and the gate opens. You begin to make your way toward, like, you're now basically in the estate's grounds. It's very well manicured, like, very, very pretty. It's chilly here. There isn't any ice or snow on the ground, but it's definitely colder and crisper than areas that you've been in, despite it being, like, spring, summertime. And as you begin to make your way sort of along this gravel path, you come around to sort of the main steps of the whole estate. And at the top, there's a small group of Dragonborns waiting to greet you.
Do I recognize them?
You have to say, do I recognize them?
I mean, a predominant figure is Lady Kate Ornica standing in the group.
What did you do?
Nothing. And your mom just go, and another prominent figure among the group that Mel has seen before.
I've met all of Hans's family.
Yeah, and Verthandi has, is Lord Davos, Hans's dad. You don't see either of his siblings. Those of you who know what his siblings look like.
Yeah, I do. Sorry.
But there are, it's Lady Kate and Lord Davos, and just very like two or three guards, one and two or three servants of the house. Lady Kate is smiling and like hands clasped and just watching you all approach. Lord Davos is a much calmer looking Dragonborn standing next to her. You all go ahead.
I was gonna say, as we approach, I obviously know them. I'm gonna turn to Hanz and be like, as a captain, I should probably properly introduce us, right? That's right? Yeah.
Okay.
While we're walking up to the group and Verthandi's talking to Hanz, I'm gonna kind of explain to Nezrin who the people we're approaching are.
Okay.
I'm gonna be like, so Hans's mom and dad. Huh? Yeah, and I'm assuming, and I'm just telling you like who the people you feel we're approaching are.
I'm listening into what Mel is telling Nezrin.
Right.
Random people.
I don't know who's there, so...
Hans is like, yes, home, I guess, sure.
I can assume. Well, I don't know how close are we standing to get... Like, could I hear Mel?
Yeah, I mean, you're all walking together.
Okay.
I'm not being like loud like this, but you could probably hear me. I'll like direct it enough that I would get the gist that like, so we're approaching Hans's mom and dad, kind of thing.
Oh, that's nice. I've never met them.
They're nice. They're very nice people.
The tone of your voice belies otherwise.
Nope.
You'll be fine, Mel.
They're great.
Did something happen? Did you do something?
No, never. Why would you think that?
You're talking in a very forced tone, and you sound very...
It's fine, Nezrin. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Just
All right.
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
You all reach sort of the bottom of the steps, and those of you who can see Lady Kate and Lord Davos and their various their ensemble begin to like walk down the steps, and you hear Lady Kate go, "Children, welcome! It's so good to see you all back."
Hello, Mother.
It's good to see you again, Lady Ornica, Lord Ornica, and I'm gonna give a bow. Little curtsy.
Yeah, they both look at you and like nod. in your direction. Lady Kate continues and walks up to you, Verthandi, and extends her hand and goes, I believe it is Captain Verthandi now, is it not?
It is, yes.
And she shakes her claw. It is very good to see you again, my dear.
You as well. Hanz
So,
said that this is a good stop for our future travels, so we thought maybe you could help us.
oh, absolutely. Hans only left a short while ago. I wasn't necessarily expecting all of you to drop by, but I am very happy, of course.
I'm sorry, our plans change a lot. It
Yes.
happens with the skyship, the wind and all.
That is all right. You're always welcome at our estate.
Thank
I
you.
assume that the ship is docked in our lake?
The ship is docked, yes.
Are you okay, Nesrin? You good?
Face is like sinking into.
If you could like
Travis.
I feel like if you could like recoil your spikes and your horns, they would recoil into your body as well.
They just like flatten.
His man just disappears. He just becomes like a ball.
You doing a Travis where you're just like,
and makes zero eye contact with anyone.
Oh, well, if I'm sure I'm sure that you are all middle of the day, but if you would like to come inside, rest for a while, and I will be happy to listen to where you're off to next.
That would be
Assist in
wonderful.
however I can.
That would be wonderful. Thank you so much.
Of course, my dear. And so the servants that are with them sort of shuffle forward and like hold their hands out to take whatever bags you have with you.
I've left everything on the ship, so.
I mean,
Does anyone have any bags?
I got my shit. Sure.
I'll
They
have
shuffle
my
forward and then like kind of look at each other and then like look at Lady Kate and she's just like, okay, whatever.
backpack, it's all I got, man.
I mean, I'm going to give them my stuff because I'm assuming I'm going to be staying at least like for a little while.
Yeah.
Oh. Are we?
But and I'll begin to walk back up the steps. When you all the grand doors open and you find yourself in the main entry hall. Lady Kate walks forward a little bit more and turns back to you all and is like, well, I think that you all can do what you like during the day. If you would like, we will have a dinner later where we can all
To the
discuss.
library.
Yes.
Yes, that's what we do.
They have a very nice library, Nesrin. I'll show you later.
Okay.
I just like kind of pat him. I'm like, sorry about that. Hello.
Lady Kate kind of looks at you, Mel, and is just, feel free to,
Library, just take me to lunch.
feel free to roam where you like. The gardens are quite lovely. The library, anywhere else in the estate. And if you need anything, please do not hesitate to let me know. Hans, if I may talk to you, please.
Of course.
She comes over and, like, puts a hand on your back and begins to walk away. And I'll see the rest of you later.
Thank you, Lady Kate, or Lady Ornica. Sorry, that was Alex calling her Lady Kate. Mel called her Lady Ornica. Mel would never call her Lady.
That was afraid.
Hey,
Never.
Katie, what's up?
Hey, Katie, what up?
No, my lady Kate.
Jesus Christ. Before I talk to Hans, what all would you like to do?
Library, where? Let's go.
Mel takes Nesrin to the library just to get go. Let's go.
Alright, that's fine. Leave me here. I don't care. I'll muddle through on my own.
There are very nice gardens. There's a lot of rooms. There's a lot to explore. If I was going to offer a tour, but I have been...
You've been swooped.
I've been swooped.
Diverted otherwise.
Faye, there are a lot of rocks here. Do you want to go out to the gardens and look at the rocks?
They're that kind of garden? Sure, that's fine.
It's not a rock garden.
They have nice rocks in the garden. They have various mountain boulders and shit in the garden.
That's the garden he's thinking of.
Many of them are sculpted, however.
Yeah.
Smooth jazz garden, actually.
Right.
Go ahead.
Oh, I love you.
Alright, so,
Find books on. I don't know. Maybe they have books about this dude. Can I?
I hook
Somebody in the library.
Yeah, this is what we're in there. I hook Nezrin up with whoever's working there, and I walk out.
In
I
the
leave.
library.
I'll be back for you, Nezrin.
there's no, I mean, you can find a servant. It's a family's personal library. There's no...
We have a historian.
Okay,
There's a
bring me
historian.
to your historian.
I hook him
Dear
up
Lord, I didn't know there was a historian. Take me to this guy.
There's servants around.
here. Nezrin.
She may not be in.
It would be so much better if you just told him there was a servant and left him in the
That's what I'm doing. Just wait. Here, Nezrin, we've made it to the Ornica library.
Okay.
I look
Good
around
luck.
the servant and kind of be like, come here real quick. This is Nezrin. What's your name?
There's a young, yeah, there's a young, silver dragonborn, and she walks up. My name is Danny.
Hi, Danny. This is Nezrin. Nezrin, this is Danny. Nezrin's looking for some books.
Well, you're all in the library, so
But
you...
he has... I kind of like point to his eyes, but he needs help finding some books. Is there someone who can help him find books?
I suppose I can.
Next. What is your
Have
catalog?
fun, guys. And she leaves.
Peace.
Nezrin, I'll be back.
Okay, what is your catalog system? I'm looking for something specific from this specific era, and I wanted to know if you might be in the history section, might be in the Druidic, if you have a Druidic section.
No.
Do you have a history section?
Yes,
Okay, can you point me to the history section?
sure.
Well, I guess not point, but direct me physically, because I have no idea where I'm going in this place.
Yes, absolutely. And she very tentatively, like, takes your forearm and begins to guide you toward their history section.
Wonderful.
Bless.
So, how do you do your cataloging? Do you happen to know how the cataloging here works? Because I know every library is different, and I know that since this is the personal library, it might be different than where I was.
It's generally alphabetical.
Well, is it alphabetical by author, or by era, or title?
I'm not entirely. I don't read I'm not here that often.
You should fix that. Reading's great. I should know. I am very much a fan of books. I even have this really cool rock that, even though I'm blind, that's a whole other story. Let's be read. So I'm just trying to find something specific that maybe your library has, but the library I was in didn't have. And if you don't, it's fine. I'll just find something else to read. But I'm just looking.
You hear this like very quiet shuffling, and you hear a book or two being like pulled off the shelf and inspected. Well, they seem to be alphabetical by author.
Oh, that's perfect. Thank you. That's all I need. You can go now.
What?
You've done a very good job of getting me right to the section where I need to be, and that's really all the assistance I need. As I said, I have a very nice rock that's enchanted to let me read things even though I'm blind, so I can get to doing what I need to do. And I don't know what your day is like, but I'm assuming we interrupted your day, and I'm very sorry that we interrupted your day, because, it's very rude to do that. And I am a little bit in need of assistance with both things, including, navigating. But now that I've found the section I need to be in, I should be okay until my friend comes back to find me.
If you require assistance, I can't stay.
Oh, no, I don't want to take you away from your day, but if you do have time, that would be really...
Can I just remind the world how much I love Nezrin?
I mean, hi. You are a guest of, And Master Ornica, I'm at your disposal.
Your left eyebrow started twitching. Well, that would be great. You could, do I know what era this guy is from?
I mean, it's old as fuck. There's no section labeled old as fuck, but,
You know those like some the older volumes, ones that, you know, look really,
Sure.
really old, like older
What
than
language
your
are you
great
looking for?
I'm looking for a mention of a man named Quilder Perwin. If you happen to see anything by or about him, that would be wonderful.
Sure. Let's, how about, she kind of leads you to one end of the aisle. If you start here, and I'll start at the other end, and we'll see what we can do.
Excellent. What a good plan. You are a wonderful lass. I don't know how old you are. That might have been derogatory. I'm sorry. I don't mean to call you a lass. If you don't want to be called a lass, you might be a lady.
How old are you?
I'm 20.
I'm older than you are, but that's okay.
I'm so sorry. I'm so very sorry, madam.
No,
Thank you for all your assistance.
it's quite alright. Okay. She's gonna go. You hear her shuffle right to the other end of the aisle.
Sorry.
So.
I love you. Never change.
Never change, Liz. Please never change.
This one makes me so much joy.
Mel, where are you off to?
Let's guess! Okay, no, Mel's heading to the specific garden, but she's not gonna get too close. She's just gonna kind of hover and like find a bench and sit down.
Okay.
And twiddle with her gloves.
Okay. Sounds good. Base and Rithandi, where are you off to?
We're to the gardens.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys find your way outside to the garden. They are, again, like, pristinely manicured, very nice. There are a bunch of hedges kind of in different mazes. There are benches, there are statues, there's vases, there's all sorts of very artistic hoity-toity shit here.
Sorry, Aston, can I just mention that I want the gazebo within, like, my side of my line of sight?
Sure.
That's it.
Okay, good to know. Base and Rithandi, are you doing anything specific?
Yes. I want to find a space somewhere in the gardens where it doesn't look like there's anybody around.
Okay, that's easy enough to do.
Yeah. As you can see, it's kind of, there aren't that many rocks here.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed, I'm not gonna lie. Not that I thought we'd find anything that interesting, but
Well,
yes, flowers are cool.
well, everything here is kind of pristine and put in a proper place, so, yeah. You were with me in the Fortune Tower 10.
Yep.
You heard what they said, right? How I need to figure things out before we start on this adventure. So I never got the chance to apologize, and I'm sorry for taking you back from your special person. And I know you chose to stay by my side, and I'm eternally grateful, but I'm sorry. I didn't even know if you wanted to come back. So I just wanted to make sure that you're okay, and that you're okay with all of this, and yeah.
Well, this was not what I was expecting coming into the gardens today. After almost killing us again. It's not your fault. None of that was your fault.
But I begged for you back. I I didn't even know if you wanted to come back.
I couldn't tell you what it was like being dead. I don't want to think too hard on it. I'm not angry to be back. I'm not okay, but I'm not angry to be back. I don't know what happened there. It's not your fault. Don't. Let's not talk about it anymore. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Okay. We don't have to talk about it. I just have one more thing. Okay? Can you lean down? It's a secret.
I lean down.
Thank you so much for the ring. And she's gonna kiss him on the cheek and run away.
He is 110% shell-shocked, and he just there.
He is shook, if you will.
He is now the rock in the garden.
Shooketh.
I didn't sign up for this slow burn fanfiction.
So,
Fanfiction has hit the peak plot point of this event.
yeah.
Yeah.
She's gone. Shake the kiss, and now we can move forward with our secret feeling for each other.
Han.
At least 3 more months of just staring at each other awkwardly, and then they can move on.
But they're not in high school in Japan. There's no Valentine's Day. Secrets are put in the locker.
No, guys, we have to get in a good fight first, okay?
Me too.
It comes out in the midst of an argument.
It does. It does.
Okay. So, Han, your mother pulls you away from the group. As the group starts to walk down one of the hallways, your dad kind of leans in and is like, "Good to see you, son." Then just disappears.
Bye, Dad. He does this.
Walking down this hallway, very quickly the rest of the entourage sort of peters off. So then it's just you and your mother walking along in silence for a moment. The path that you both begin to take is one that you know very well. It's the path like up to sort of her office. And as you're walking, she has her hand just like it moves from your back to just like on your shoulder, and she gives it a small squeeze, and she's like, "Well, this is a surprise. I'm glad you're back. Is everything all right?"
Well, we had to leave in a bit of a hurry because some people attacked us in town.
Some people attacked you in town.
At least that's what I'm assuming, because Mel and I woke up in an alley not remembering anything for the past 3 hours.
I didn't do it! It
You
wasn't
feel her like her grip tighten on your shoulder, and you both come to a stop.
No, it was not her.
heartburn.
I can assure you it was not her fault. It
You
was...
kind of feel her like push you like to face her, and she like starts like patting over like your head and like your shoulders. Are you do you know what?
No, I think I would be a little less concerned if I knew what had actually happened. But there were people following us, and then nothing. Which is what I wanted to ask you about, because I know there is magic that exists to change memories, but I thought it was just a small amount of time, not hours.
Hours. You don't know what happened for hours.
Apparently.
That is very troubling. You can hear her, like, take a second to, like, recompose herself, and she, like, then gently, like, puts her hand on your shoulder and continues, both of you walking. I wasn't aware that spells like that existed to change hours of time in one's memory. I will have to ask people about that, for sure. Goodness. Well, then that makes what I wanted to talk to you about all the more relevant. After another moment or two, you guys reach her office doors. She places her hand on one of the doors and mutters, whatever enchantment has her doors locked, and you hear the familiar as it opens. She walks you both in, and then lets go of you as you've been in here, you know where shit is. You hear her sort of walk, she closes the door, mutters again, and walks a little ways away from you. Well, I've been training you to be in our organization for a while, and as the current circumstances stand, you've not technically officially been made a member. I was wondering if that would be something that would be of interest to you at this point.
Sorry.
I thought that was the eventuality. So, I don't see why not.
You still have a choice in the matter.
Well, if it's something I could still do besides, well, waiting for my inheritance to happen, which I don't want to happen anytime soon. Please stay around. But
I'm not going anywhere, darling. Don't worry.
Good. I don't know how you do what you do all the time. So if this is something I can do in the meantime, then yes, I'd like that.
You hear her walk over to one of the many shelves that are in her office. You hear her rummaging around for a second, and you hear a click and something sliding. You hear her rummaging around for another second, pulling something out. Another click. Then you feel her sort of approach the desk, and you hear something being set down. She walks back over to you and like gently holds your head and pulls you toward her desk. Well, first off, you'll need to be given a name as part of as officially becoming part of Featherfall. The name that I would like to give you is Joda, which means in Draconic crow. It is spelled. That's just how it's spelled. And this is how you can identify yourself to other members. And you hear something opening on her desk, and you feel a small amulet with a chain on it being pressed into your palm. And every member is given this. It is another way for you to identify yourself to other members, but it also is a fail-safe in case you're ever compromised. She kind of like leads your finger sort of around the edge. You feel it is a locket, and you feel. At first, you think it's sort of the Ornica crest that's on the top, but you feel for it again, and it's not quite. So you know the star that's in the middle of the Ornica crest, the diamonds that make it up.
Mm.
The symbol that you feel is it's in the shape of a feather, but the what is the fuzzy part of the feather called?
I don't know. The fuzzy part of the feather.
The fuzzy bits of the feather are made up of the diamonds that make up the star in the center. So it's a feather that's made up of little Ornica diamond
Plume?
stars.
Yeah, the plume.
The plumage of the feather. The plumage of the feather is made up
I've
of.
learned a word today.
Good job, Liz. and then, hey, 6 years of the
Good. I'm glad you know what the fluffy part of the feather is called.
That was all Liz. All Liz.
Anyway, she presses that into your hand and is like, it is only to be opened under extreme circumstances. It is to keep you safe so that no one would be able to reach into your mind, be able to learn anything that you have. If you feel you are truly compromised, this is your last resort.
Alright. What happens after?
She kind of takes a breath. Well,
I take it it's the most extreme circumstance.
yes, it is the most extreme circumstance. I prefer it be the most extreme circumstance. You will eventually come back to your senses. What I can tell you. But as you have a lovely team, I'm sure that it will not need to be opened.
Alright. It's been sort of trained into me to worry. Is there a chance that something could have been tampered with mentally that would keep me from being a good choice in this? Knowing, just with what happened, since I don't know what happened,
You kind of take a second. Well, you don't remember what happened. You seem like yourself. Whatever happened could not have been that terrible, necessarily. Otherwise, who I had watching you would have alerted me. I don't think that there would be a reason that whatever happened would invalidate your candidacy, unless you believe there is something that happened that would invalidate your candidacy. You're my son who has undergone my training, and unless they were, or whatever happened, whoever these people were are somehow controlling you, I don't see what would invalidate you joining.
Alright. I don't have cause to believe that there's anything wrong with me, just wanted to be sure.
We'll have you looked at by Eric, of course, if you think that they maybe physically altered something, or they have some sort of curse or anything else that they put on you. We'll have all of your friends checked out by our cleric before you all make your way.
Alright.
She puts her hand over top of yours for a second, like takes a deep breath. I think you'll be alright. I have to believe that you're going to be alright. I remember when I gave your sister a pendant. Her name was Swan. She takes a moment and kind of like, you both are sort of held in that like, kind of moment for a second. But she releases your hand, takes another breath. Well, I suppose I will have to start gathering some supplies for all of you to continue on your way.
We have a vague idea of where we're going, but I may join Nessun in the library and see if we could find anything.
That sounds like a good idea. I will also send word to those who I've stationed in Kihlek to try and follow up on what happened.
Apart from Mel and I, my other friends actually did fight some of them, so they may be of more informative use than us. At least in identifying them. I don't know what else they did.
Truly, I'll have to talk to them at dinner. Actually, on the note of your friends, Verthondi hasn't been home, from what I hear.
No, she hasn't.
I wonder. I do not want you to tell her this, but I would like your opinion on something. As you know, her mother has been kept in the capital for some time. She's in the capital no longer. She has been under my personal care for the last month or so.
Sorry. Gasps.
Alright. I'm sure you know what you're doing, but...
Unfortunately, I've been put in charge of her trial and her fate, as it were. And I feel like I cannot proceed with such a judgment without Verthondi's testimony. If I were to ask Verthondi to see her mother, would she comply?
Perhaps if given the highest assurance that she could do nothing to her. But... frankly, I don't know her as well as I might.
Well, I appreciate the opinion. Well, you know your way to the library, so I will see you at dinner, my dear.
Alright. Thank you.
She pulls you in for the briefest of hugs, and then sends you on your way.
Oh shit.
Oh man.
Oh boy, drama.
So, it is currently the middle of the day. Mel, you're out in the garden. Nezrin and poor Danny the servant are in the library.
He is profusely apologizing like every 5 minutes for calling
It's
her
okay.
last. Like every 5 minutes he's like apologizing, like, I'm so sorry that I...
No, it's okay. I look rather I do look younger. Nope. I'm so sorry.
You sound rather youthful.
What?
You sound rather youthful.
You sound rather youthful.
I haven't been fired, so I think I'm useful.
Youthful!
Youthful. Okay, I thought you said useful.
No.
Useful. Oh. Well, thank you, I suppose. So she goes between like being like extremely anxious and overwhelmed to actually being like, okay, just if I help him find the thing, he'll go away.
He offered to just let her go. He did offer. He gave her an out.
But she sticks around to help you out.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, she's aware of how to deal with blind people, having been one of like the servants in the house where Hanz lives.
That's true.
So eventually Hanz got over into the library as well, and Danny's like, oh, Master Hanz! And she, like, bows, but then she realizes she doesn't have to because he can't see her anyway.
Hello, Danny. I see you are hard at work.
Yes, well, trying to be. Master Nezrin is doing most of the work. So I have offered, but...
Oh, yes, Hanz! She is incredibly helpful. You should give her a raise, if she's not being paid well already. I don't know these things.
I assure you that's not necessary.
She's been nothing but helpful, and very, very positive in dealing with me and my monthly self.
That's good to hear.
For books, would you like to look for books with us?
Well, question for Aston. Would my tutors still be here in the castle? Or estate?
Your tutors will still be around.
Okay, because, like, I would like to go and find our, like, history person, Denesi.
Yeah.
Because I think she would be most helpful.
Yeah.
And she's, yeah. Nestor, I know exactly who you want to talk to. Let's find...
I don't know anything about anything around here, so I'm just gonna follow whoever leads.
I mean, you can stay here and keep looking.
Okay.
But
Whatever works.
Would you like me to go fetch someone, Master Hanz?
sure, if you don't mind trying to track down Lady Denasi, she will be probably... I'm surprised she's not here, but, you know.
Absolutely, I will go see. And Danny, like, again, she, like, well, I'm telling you this even though you can't see it, she, like, starts to bow and then it's like, ugh. Blind people, ugh. Settles off. No, what, are you still sitting in the garden?
So after sitting there for a little bit, probably like a good like 10 minutes, Mel starts talking out loud. She's like, "Hey, Lady Ornica."
Is this anywhere near me in the garden?
Possibly. She's just like, kind of to herself, and like also like out loud. She's like, "I promise I'm not gonna steal anything. I'm not gonna even try. I just came to say hello. I'm gonna go up there. I'm gonna kind of like hang out for like 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna leave with exactly the same amount of items on me. Nothing is gonna be open. Nothing's gonna be touched. I mean, okay, maybe I might touch it, but like, you know what I mean." So like Mel's like talking out loud to herself as if she was like talking to Lady Ornica.
Ethan Verthani, roll perception check.
And she's
I mean,
like,
I was gonna say
slowly
after. Yeah, we're in different places. I've left it.
Gandhi left, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not in the garden anymore. I left.
Oh, okay. Sorry, hang on. Verthani, you ran off from the garden?
Remember, she
Yeah.
kissed him and ran.
Oh, I thought you were just running to somewhere else in the garden.
I mean, I was gonna say she got lost. It's up to you where she got lost to because she really wasn't paying attention where she was going. She just ran.
We're probably still in the garden, to be honest.
Okay.
But based on Verthani, roll perception check.
I rolled a 17.
17.
14.
14. Okay. Base, you definitely you as you start to like once you like come back to your senses, you start to like kind of wander around a little bit. You're just kind of like in a daze. I'm sure processing your own emotions. You hear Mel's voice very faintly coming from like a direction.
And she's like slowly standing up and starting to walk towards the gazebo, but she's kind of like looking at the ground and like looking around and just like, "Okay, I'm just gonna go say hi. That's gonna be it, okay? I promise. Promise. Okay?" And she's like looking to see if anyone like is coming, like guards or anyone.
Roll a perception check. See who's around.
Okay.
Gonna go well.
Oh, real well, guys. Oh, Mel sees everything. Perception? That's a 7.
Hell yeah! Them some hedges. Dang,
Them some
you remember that statue from last time?
Yeah, I do. Oh, that's the hedge I hid in. I
Oh,
think.
they definitely like paved this better this time.
That's
Whoa!
real. Oh, are those, is that a new flower? That's a new bush. That's a new bush.
Well, you don't really see anyone around.
I had
You
gazebo.
Like complimenting the garden as you go along as well.
I
love what you've done with the place. You've, like, changed things around. Like, did this path used to curve left instead of right? Like,
Ace is gonna, like, walk up behind her, like, listening to this spiel. And in the middle of it, he's gonna be like, invisibility, or are you more confused than I thought you were?
hi, berries. Nothing. No, nobody's here. Nobody's invisible. It's just me and you. And these bushes. They're my. It's things happened last. No, it wasn't last time I was here. It was a couple times ago. Things happened one time when I was here, and I just it's a tradition. It's like yeah, these bushes and I go way back.
You talk to them as a tradition.
So like you know how you're supposed to talk to plants and it helps them grow.
Do they talk back?
If you have speak with plants, yeah.
Why did you name the hedge after Hans's mother?
Didn't we were? What are you doing? What's up? Where's Rithandi?
I don't know. I don't know where Rithandi is.
How did you lose her? You guys are never apart. You guys are always together.
That is not true.
go?
We're not together, alright? No, we're not together.
No, you're not.
We're not.
Where did she go? Rithandi. No, she doesn't. Where's Rithandi?
I don't know, she took off.
Without you.
She's stealthy, she does that sometimes. She does that a lot. Within the last year, she's done it a lot. I don't know why, it just happens. That was my cat.
That was Rithandi in a bush next.
Yeah, that was startling.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go talk to my bushes.
Right. You do
No.
that. I'm
just gonna stand there until he leaves.
alright.
You can go now. Thanks. Go find your lost Rithandi. She's probably lost in a maze somewhere. Place is really big and she's not.
Whatever. He's gonna leave, but he's gonna head back towards like the estate with the intent to like go to the library and find Nezarin because he doesn't know where anybody else is.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really want to look for Rithandi.
Okay.
Oh my god. We are a circus. We really are. We're the worst. We are awesome. Goes to the gazebo.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like looks around. Can I perception check to see if anyone's here? Is the last one count for it?
You can. Do you want to?
I want a perception check that anyone's
Sure.
around.
Sure.
Specifically, a tall silver lady.
Okay.
Tall. Ooh, 21.
Nice.
Okay. You step up to the gazebo and you kind of take a look around, kind of squint around. There's no tall silver lady. There is a. You kind of jump for a second as there's there's a rustling of one of the hedges and a servant kind of pokes his head around and he's like carrying a pair of shears and like kind of walks and kind of looks at you and goes.
I was never here.
Kind of looks at you and is like.
And Mela's just gonna put her hands on the table
Mm-hmm.
and do more talking to herself.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay, Rithandi, you're still wandering in the garden.
Yeah, I don't know where I am. I'm wandering.
Yeah, I mean, it's enjoyable at the very least. There's a pond out there, that has some nice, really, really pretty white lilies in it, some white fish swimming around. Yeah, it's a really fucking nice garden.
She's probably honestly doing the same thing as Mel and talking to herself and just being like, don't worry, he really doesn't hate you. It's okay. That was the right thing to do. You got everything off your chest. You can start off the adventure right. Everyone's gonna be okay now. Everyone's gonna be safe. That was the right thing. We're still friends. It's okay. I meant nothing. It's okay. It's all good. Ooh.
We are kind of tagged.
An angel.
It's funny.
Yeah. Okay. So. Bees, you eventually make your way back to the estate, make your way into the library. It's a big ass library. It's nice. You hear the nerds muttering off in one of the corners.
That's the direction I'm going.
I probably, at this point, can I say I probably found a book and I'm just sitting there with my silly rock?
I don't know. Roll me investigation.
Boy, this is gonna go well.
I'm gonna roll with advantage.
Okay.
Question, can I read maps with that stone? Or is it just text?
I'm gonna go.
Like, I'm sure I could get the
description of it, because I'm inclined to say yes, but I'm just gonna check my wording real quick.
I rolled a 13.
13? Okay.
So, you know.
Huh.
Goodbye, sir.
I'm gonna say yes. I'm just trying to think how. Because it relays information telepathically. I'm gonna say that it can read maps in the way that, like,
if I, like, put it over, like, where the words are, like, the names of places, and, like, maybe read the, like, legend,
yeah.
I could, like, decipher it, not as well as someone who could see it, potentially.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing ideas out there.
No, for sure. I'm just thinking of, like,
Map Braille.
Map Braille.
You probably, if you spend long enough with it and, like, and sort of, or, like, kind of just, like, scanning it back and forth, you can get a general idea. Your distances might be a little off.
Mm-hmm.
You could definitely read, like, town names and river names, and, like, there'll be, like, a vast stretch of, like, nothing, and then it'll say blah 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 forest, and then vast stretch of nothing. Yeah. If you spend a long time with a map, you can get a decent picture of it in your head.
Okay.
Yes.
That's cool.
No, just yeah. Well, the wording that I did with the you can if you spend long enough with a map, you can generally get a sense of the mental image of it.
Gotcha. I probably tried for a bit, and then realized, wow, this is tedious. I'm going to read a book that I find enjoyable. Found, like, a book that I liked.
You're just like, I like this.
I'm helping.
Yeah, helping. What did you roll? Sorry, Liz. 13?
Yeah.
Okay. So, you with Danny's help, you've at least found a section that details druidic arts, and you're able to find a few like references of like people combining different sort of teaching in schools and like sources of magic. So you found a book on sort of like I was about to say cross magic breeding, but that's not at all like what that is. It's more of like combination magics. And you're sort of reading up on like how druidic and like cleric magics have like intersected in the past and how you can learn to sort of do that. And like as the book goes on, there are other sections about how like there have been other cross sections of magics of like warlocks using powers to be sort of like paladins, and like it's a very interesting book at the very least.
I'm gonna try to take this book with me, but we'll get to that. So I'm gonna be just sitting there reading the book. I'm sitting on the floor reading the book.
Okay. Sounds good. Is there anything else anyone would like to do before dinner?
I assume I find them, right?
Oh yes. They're not
Go together, right?
Yeah, or like at least within the same vicinity.
Okay.
She's probably like hovering, like I don't want to leave him, but
Yeah.
I guess Nezrin, I'll like approach. Like,
excuse me.
how goes the great knowledge hunt?
Okay. I felt someone come from whatever thing, and then Faye's voice, so I know it's Faye's.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Fine, I guess. Reading.
Yeah, cool. All right, great. I'm gonna stay here, and he's just gonna take find a spot to like settle somewhere like nearby.
Didn't really know you liked books, but okay.
I don't like books.
You aren't missing out, but you know.
There is a nice view, at least.
I realize this is a lost cause for Kid.
So when Mel's done talking to the rocks,
There was everything in me that was like, we don't have to, it's okay. Mel's going to what?
so Mel's done having her conversation with the gazebo.
Mm-hmm.
And she's gonna kind of like give it a nice little pet, all that.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds really weird, but she's going.
Getting cozy with the architecture. It's okay. It's all good.
I appreciate the arc. No, what I'm gonna do next. Mel's going to give the rock a peck, a kiss.
Okay.
I feel like I have to explain it to the group now, though.
Is this your dead girlfriend?
Maybe. And she goes, "Don't worry, Mirel. I'll find you, and I'll fix all this." And she's gonna go and head to the library.
Is she the rock?
It's her gravestone, man.
Oh! Right.
It is that kind of garden.
It is that kind of garden. Oh, the gazebo is where Mirel's box is.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
They don't have a body.
He has a nice memorial.
Yeah.
There's no body.
It's a memorial. So she gives a little peck, and she says that, and she goes to the library.
Yeah.
And as she leaves, she goes like this.
See?
Make another perception check.
Or it was more like I didn't take anything, but okay. Not as great. 12.
Okay. This was more for just like as you walk back. I was seeing if like she notices like Verthandi muttering in the bushes, but as she walks, I mean, you walk back. You come across that one servant who's still like with the hedges. But you start to walk back toward the estate.
I put the gloves away,
Mm-hmm.
and I go to the library.
Gloves?
No, I
You
did
stole
not
gloves?
steal. I did not steal gloves.
I thought you stole a cloak.
I didn't steal a cloak either. It got put back.
You
I
stole a
had-
cloak.
I
You stole
borrowed
a
the
cloak in the
cloak.
past failed tense.
I borrowed the cloak. It was put back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Fine.
Okay.
The cloak is still in the box, or wherever it
You
lives.
stole your dead girlfriend's box?
No, I didn't steal her box.
Her box is made of...
I didn't steal anything. I do not own any stolen property on my body that belonged to Mirail or any Ornica.
Okay.
I go to the
We
library.
will regale you all with the tale in detail later. But
What a
is there
birthday.
anything else anyone else would like to do before dinner?
I'm gonna ask Faith where Berthandi is.
Yeah.
You didn't find her?
Why are you so worried about it? She'll be fine.
It's just weird seeing you without her and her without you.
Wait, oh, that would be why
It's cool seeing you without plants and being quiet for a change.
If you two please stop, I'm trying to read. It takes some effort. Please
This
be
is
quiet.
boring.
Then leave.
Go find Versandi!
Go find your girlfriend.
She's not my girlfriend! If you're also worried about Verthandi, you go find her.
I have
She's not my girlfriend, though.
I'm trying to help us on this stupid quest. Leave me alone.
I'll go. I don't know. I'm just gonna read.
You don't like reading?
covers.
Why the heck are you in the library?
Was that to me?
No, it's
Oh. I was like, I like to read. I'm gonna go read.
read.
I'm gonna read the lines of books.
I'm gonna ask you a question, Nezrin. Do you really want me... Actually, I'm gonna ask Hanz a question. Do you really want me somewhere...
Hanz is there.
I'm nearby.
Oh, he's nearby.
I was reading.
He's in the room.
Oh, I thought you left. Oh, no, she left. Yeah. Okay, yeah. What was your question?
My question is, do you want me somewhere else in this building? Where the two of you are unaware?
You know, that's a good question.
The answer is no.
I don't care. I just don't understand why you're in the library if you don't like reading.
There is nothing better to do, and I am waiting for dinner.
I have something.
I mean, I would
Get
think
up.
that, you know, the library
Put this
is
book down.
entertainment.
I'm going to, like, head out the door. Like, if you want something a bit better than just reading, feel free to follow me.
I am following with a
I
passion.
mean, I would assume
You're just like, oh my god.
This is an open invitation.
The pinnacle of entertainment here.
Nezrin,
My house.
do you need help, Nezrin?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Nell's curious and she's following them out. She's like, where are you going?
Okay.
Okay.
If you need something, let me know.
Okay. I'm just alone in this library. Good.
Honestly, I'm just heading towards the... we have a rooftop access that, honestly, well, I thought Bethany would probably like this as well, but you can inform her later if you so choose. It is...
night out, there's probably stars.
Exactly, it's an excellent place for stargazing. It's still a nice view anyway. Out over the lake and the city and whatnot. But, if the night is clear, then feel free to come up and see the stars.
That's. Never mind.
The wind is
He's
nice.
very interestedly looking around, and then when he sees the boat in the water, he's like, oh.
Okay.
I brought my book with me, actually. I'm gonna sit up here and read.
Aw, yeah, so you're in the open air. You can, I mean, I was just saying, if you close your eyes, you don't have to close your eyes, but you can like, you've been out here, like, often enough and you're used to, you have a good idea, like, what everything looks like. But, Base and Mel, you guys hit the roof. There's a nice, like, marble sort of railing that goes along this really, really nice patio, that it opens up into the mountains and the lake and, the capital city of the Ornica clan below. The rooftops are all, it's the color scheme that's happening is all whites and creams. Occasionally there's like a blue or a gold. Like it's very like, oh, duh, this is Ornica kind of a feeling. But yeah. So as you all continue about your activities, Berthani, would you like to make your way? Where would you like to go?
I'd like to try and get back to the house eventually, but
Oh,
Can you see over the hedges?
yeah, I'm lost.
Ooh. Can Mel just like see if she can find Versandi? Like from the rooftop?
Roll your
I think
perception check. Sure.
It's a 5.
It's a fun.
Oh, honey.
Perception? I
Yeah.
have a 15.
15? Okay. Mel, you kind of look out the front, you're like, oh, really nice. And you kind of walk around the side, oh, really nice. You walk to the back, you can see the garden from here. Kind of peer down, you see the gazebo, and you see the different, like, you see the ponds that are there, and you see the different hedges. You see a couple goths moving around you see a couple dragonborn moving around the garden. You can't necessarily pick out which one's Verthandi. But
Okay, what's that?
Verthandi, you try and find sort of an area of the garden where you could maybe see, like, you can sort of see the estate if you back up a little bit. There are a lot of hedges around where you are. So you start like, alright, I think the estate was this way, and you start walking one way, up that way, start walking another way. You eventually find your way back to the actual estate.
Yeah, if I saw a gardener or something, I would ask for directions.
Yeah, you eventually come across the serpent, you just points you back in the direction of the estate, and you make your way back. Yeah, it is. The sun has now begun to set. It's now like later afternoon. One by one, servants come, find each of you, and asks if you would like to be shown a room before dinner, if you would like to clean yourself up, get changed.
Into what?
I'm sorry?
Ignore him.
Into what? We left without me getting extra clothing. What would you like me to change?
If there's something we can retrieve from your ships, I'm sorry?
He's just a little bitter.
Everything back to the capital because we have to leave now.
I'm sure there are clothes available that could fit you. Would you like us to find something?
Nope, I'm good. I'm great.
Alright.
Mel's gonna go to her room and wash up.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to my room and get clean.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna head to dinner because I know where it is.
Yeah. Each of you get shown your own guest room.
I take the book with me.
Hanz, you get shown, or you go back to your room, I would assume.
Yeah.
I take the book with me.
Sure.
Okay.
Are you still in your armor?
Oh yeah, I probably put it next in a pile on the floor.
Okay.
I'll try to carry that and the book.
Okay.
Do you need help, Nezrin?
Good.
Are you sure?
Good.
You
Yeah.
have one bracer on.
I have both on.
Just checking.
I have both on now.
Just checking.
Yes. I mean, I probably kept the leg armor and my bracer. I just took the bulky parts off and put the shield down.
Okay.
Disarmed.
At Magfest.
Yeah, right?
Literally, it's gonna be take this foam off my chest, please. Breath.
Yeah.
Mel's in
Someone
normal clothes.
Huh?
I said Mel's in normal clothes, no armor.
Okay. Nezrin, what are you doing with are you leaving in the library? I'm confused.
No, I'm following whoever's leading me to this room. I'm gonna leave my armor in the room. And
Okay. You're just gonna leave me something like, I'm on the church.
I old clothing. If they would
Okay.
happen to have any, that would be swell.
Okay.
Feel a little crunchy.
Yeah.
Some of mine might fit.
Yeah. I would say, the amount of, sort of diplomatic stuff that your family does, they probably have, extra clothes for people. Eventually, you all find yourselves cleaned up in comfortable clothing, each with your own guest room, and are shown down to the Great Hall for dinner. As you come in, there's a table lavishly set up with a full meal. and places along the table. Lady Kate and Lord Davos are at one end with Hans's. For those of you who know what Hans's siblings look like, I think only Mel and Berthandi would.
Yeah.
But you see, the name.
Furious and Ferric.
Huh?
Furious and Ferric.
Ferric. Okay, Ferric?
Yeah.
Okay, I was saying Farouk.
That works too. I rarely say it out loud, so.
Yeah, Ferric and Varys, are sitting, at the table as well. And they're talking amongst themselves. But, sort of like one by one lead you into the hall, and Lady Kay stands, and, who welcomes you to her table. You all.
I'm gonna sit at my normal spot.
Yeah, Hans has got his spot.
I guess as captain, I feel I should sit closer because that's what she would think. So, yeah.
I'm just gonna go where I'm led, assuming someone's gonna lead me to a chair.
And I
sit here. I'll sit wherever there's a spot.
Okie dokie.
If it's nothing, never mind.
What?
Nothing. So, do you have your older sister? Who's Hanzo's other siblings?
Virus is the second oldest. Or, no. It's me, Virus, Ferric, Muriel. In age.
Yeah, I knew. Hanzo's little. Okay. He has another sister who's the asshole.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's Virus.
And he has a brother.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, she was the asshole you were fighting. Okay, cool.
She's rude.
Amazing. I will punch her for you.
If you can catch her.
I won't actually. I'm not actually punching her. Like when I say like push people out windows, don't actually pull windows.
You don't like defenestrating people?
I would love to defenestrate someone, but I would probably get arrested.
It could be a little window.
2 feet off the ground, just be like,
Just a short drop.
Mel, would you like to sit next to Base or Nezrin?
Nezrin, I guess?
No.
I'll sit by.
I'm just setting up the dinner table.
No.
Which one's closer to Lady Ornica?
Lady Kate.
Yeah, Lady Kate.
Technically, Lady Kate.
Homegirl, Lady Kate.
Technically, Lady Kate. Or technically, Base would be closer to Lady.
Yeah, Nezrin.
Okay.
Far away.
Not far away, but like inconspicuously not right next to her.
I mean, here, hang on. Let me. I will draw the dinner table so you all know where you're sitting.
Anyways.
Where am I? Where are we in relation to each other?
That's what I'm about to set up for you kids.
All day. Artistic silence of Aston Churchill.
Artist formerly known as Arna.
Formerly known as Go Around, asshole. He's just gonna be, the major bad guy of the campaign.
Well, the end boss.
I wouldn't be surprised if we get to whatever the final is like, hello, I'm Arna, the Great Power.
For real, TPK under the claws of Arnok.
Yeah, really.
The Lich Fairy Dragon.
Lich Fairy, yes! Lich Fairy Dragon Arnok. Oh, goals. I almost would be okay if that happened. Almost.
Okay.
Give me more ideas.
This is where we've ended up.
Okay, I'm sitting next to his dad.
Okay.
That
So I'm
works.
between Hans and Base. Okay.
I'm on the sibling side. That works.
But you're not sitting next to the asshole sister.
You're sitting next to the asshole brother.
Yeah. Is his brother an asshole?
As far as Mel knows, Mel
They're not friendly.
I mean, for those who can see, Virus is very small. She's lithe. She's not necessarily small. She's spiky looking. She has this she kind of permanently has an expression like she's always smelling something unfavorable.
Bitch face.
Yeah.
Very much so. If not resting, just pissed off face.
Yeah, like in Juno, your girlfriend gave you the stank eye. It's just how her face is.
Yeah. That's Virus. Farouk kind of looks like a little bit of a meathead, to be honest.
And Varys is base and Nezrin's age, right?
I think so.
Yes? I believe that's what you told me when I wrote the letters.
I
Yeah.
think they're 4.
She'd be 20.
Yes.
Yeah.
19 or 20. I think they're 5 years apart.
Yeah.
4 years apart.
And then Farouk is how much older?
It is, the biggest gap was between Hanz and Varys, and then they were, 2. So,
Okay.
20, 22, 24?
Yeah.
I'm gonna write that down. 24. Cool beans. So you all are led to seats. And then as you're sort of led to a spot, you hear the chair next to you scoot over an inch or two away from you.
Mel next to me?
Yeah.
No, that was Ferric.
Oh, wait, Mel was next. Okay.
I'm gonna notice.
Nope, okay, yeah, there we go. Alright, that's fine. I'll kind of look over, just be okay.
You're
Assuming
kind of,
I feel like some feet scoop themselves away
Yeah.
from me.
yeah.
You're rude, okay. This is how we treat people here. No.
You all sit down. From across the way, you hear Vera say, "Back so soon."
Yes.
Can I punch her, please? Can I punch her? Can I message Hanz asking if I can punch her? Can I punch her?
You feel a little mental.
I'll let it. Okay, the question is, do we know who it's from? Or is it just a general,
Just
Positive versus negative, even?
or a feel of a person, of someone you know?
Yeah, you two have messaged before, so you're
Yeah.
kind of aware of what this mental
Okay,
is.
yeah.
Can I punch her? Both of them.
If you... I wouldn't suggest it here.
No, okay, alright. I will not interrupt your lovely family dinner. Continue.
I do my best to smile sweetly at my sister.
I punch her in my brain.
Okay. Everyone's talking about fighting this family. I'm sweating.
I'm actually gonna get involved in an altercation. Don't worry.
I mean, you can. I'm just.
Could have at least worn armor to dinner.
Yeah.
Armor dinner. Oh shit! I didn't wear my armor dinner.
No, you
You
didn't.
did not. Anyway.
Everything is.
So. Yes. I mean, everyone begins to dig in, I suppose. Yeah. Well, Lady Kate and Lord Davos, sort of eat up. Yeah, Farouk doesn't say anything, but, for those of you who can see, Varys is kind of half picking at her dinner, kind of side-eyeing all of you and kind of looking you all over. She eventually locks eyes, or she kind of looks down the table at Mel. She's like, "Oh, you're back too."
Oh, yes, I am. You missed me so much. I just had to come and see you.
I'm surprised you're allowed back.
So am I. But your mother's... What?
Listen, Base makes a face
Your mother is so gracious to allow me to come and visit.
Veers kind of elbows Theric and kind of nods at Mel, and that's the one, you know. Then yeah.
Do. I'll tell you later.
She kind of giggles to herself and keeps eating. Farouk Theric kind of just blank face, kind of side eyes his sister. Kind of sighs, and he keeps eating as well.
Lady Ornica, was there something you wanted to talk to us about? You mentioned at the door there was something.
Yes, absolutely. I just wanted to hear about where you all were off to next.
That's Nesrin. I might be the captain, but this is Nesrin's mission. Desi, you know about it, right? Where we're going?
I like to myself internally. Because I will never get her to stop calling me.
Well, Nesrin, where are you off to?
North.
North. What is north?
We're seeking an ancient manuscript that could be of great value to the Order of the here in the capital, and we believe it's north, past the border. We're not exactly sure, but we're gonna go try to find it. Very old, very rare, order business things.
That's wonderful. How has your training with the Order been?
Smashing!
Is that all? You've been training with them extensively for the past year or so, is that not correct?
Yes. How do you know that?
Mel whispers to him under her breath, "She knows everything."
Oh, right. I know, why she would know. I know why she would know.
I mean, not really.
Wait. Hang on. I gotta look up the thing real fast. It's not in my... where's the link? Oh, my keys. Where's Desiree? There's this one. I don't remember if that was in the thing.
What are you looking up?
Oh, that's just... They're mysterious as fuck. Okay, cool. Cool.
Wait, was this the information that I gave you that Nesrin learned?
Oh my god.
Ornica. Not much is known.
Mysterious AF. They know everything. My pencils are so big, it's full of information.
It's full of secrets.
Some of their wonderful readers, and I picked up some very good skills. I spent a lot of time reading things, which was very nice for me. Yes.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
Do you know who this tome belongs to? Or belongs to, I would say.
Not yet, but we're trying to find out.
Oh, that's lovely. Well, this team has certainly been through quite a lot. I don't doubt that you'll be able to do it again.
That is the hope. This woman makes me extremely nervous.
You should.
So, how can I be assistant to you all? I mean, you spent your time in the library, Nesrin. Is there anything of interest or use?
Oh yes, you had a very lovely history section. Your servant Denny, she's a lovely lady. She was very helpful in helping me around there. You should give her my thanks.
I absolutely will.
Thank you.
We're hoping for...
you see, my ship can't go into the mountains where this tomb that we're trying to get to is. So we need a way to get there without my ship being completely destroyed.
Absolutely. Well, you are more than welcome to leave it here. I will post guards to it. We can provide you with horses from the town, or a wagon, or other means of travel that may be suitable.
We're trying to get there very quickly, so horses are probably best.
Do
A
you have
wagon might slow us
teleportation?
down.
No, that wouldn't work.
No, it wouldn't work. There's no place to teleport there.
I start mumbling.
Horses are probably our best bet.
We could probably
Absolutely, I
use
will.
maps. If we've mapped the area at all, or know anyone who has, then they would be helpful.
I'm very good with maps.
Is there more of a specific area I can look for other than north?
The directions we had were slightly vague, and north is about all we know.
Is this within Faxenon? Are you venturing beyond our border?
We are going
border.
across the border.
Yeah. I was trying to, in my head. Yes. We'll actually be traveling beyond. Very exciting.
Wonderful. Yes, I will absolutely look through our records to see if anything may be of use to all of you.
Road to
Thank
the
you so
lead.
much. And if you could do me a favor and keep it very hush-hush where we're going, I'm afraid we might be being followed, which is why this is of the utmost importance and swiftness.
Oh, I
Kind
see.
of possibly ran into a cult. Not sure if it's a cult or religion. Strange fellows trying to attack us.
I'm very intrigued. Please tell me more.
Here's my notes.
I
pull out notes. I don't have my notes with me. I wouldn't have my notes with me. Just describe what we saw. There were strange people in red cloaks, with chicken foot things on the back of their. It was like a.
It was a chicken foot.
Like a line with a lines.
an upside down trident.
Yes.
Kind of chews on some food for a second and think, interesting. Well, I will have contacts of mine look into that for sure. That does not sound agreeable.
Which is why we need to do this with the utmost speed.
Absolutely. I will arrange for some horses. Will all of you be leaving soon? Should we expect you for a few days?
No more than a day more. We want to leave as soon as possible.
Absolutely.
Nope.
Yeah. Dinner continues. There's something. Hang on. There was something else.
Does Hanz's dad talk at all through all this?
I feel like Mel would probably strike up some conversation with him while the others are talking, but small talk, how's life? How's the castle?
I was like, life is good.
He's the friendly one. Except he's
Yeah,
quiet.
she just talks about random stuff with him.
Yeah, Lord Dallas in general is he's agreeable, he's chill, he just is very much the opposite of his wife.
Mel likes him.
He's
Mel's
mellow.
Mel's not afraid of him, and Mel likes him, so she's gonna talk to him.
Yeah, he talks to you and is like, he's a little, not necessarily wary, but he's just like, oh, yes, Meligrista, it's good to see you again. I trust everything is well with you, everything is well with your family.
They're all in good health, they're all doing well, etc., and, so on and so forth.
Yeah, so on and so forth.
Christmas party banter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yes, the fine decor, the ceiling and the
Love
chandeliers.
what you've done with the garden, it's great.
It's great. That potpourri.
No, yeah.
The herb.
God.
The what's the word? Horticulture.
There you go.
It's lovely.
Yeah. At one point during the dinner, though, Ferric, he finishes his plate and he just gets up and kind of looks at Lady Kate and nods and then turns and he leaves.
Wait, who does that?
Ferric.
Rude. Seriously. First he's moving chairs, now he's getting up without waiting for everybody else.
Are you saying this out loud?
No. God, no. This is Liz. Liz saying this. This is Liz being like, this boy is rude. Where was he schooled?
Ferric gets up, Virus actually hops a chair over and you feel a new presence take Ferric's place. You feel a shoulder press up against yours, like, so, you're blind too, eh?
I like push her off of me. Like,
Sure. She kind of goes like this, then she comes back.
well, yes, obviously. I don't blindfold myself for fun.
Did that happen in the temple too?
Why do you care?
I'm just curious.
Yes, you sound immensely curious.
I mean, out of this group, 2 come out blind, 2 or 3 don't. Oh, there was also someone else, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was. And that's none of your business.
No, that's mine.
That's Mel's business.
I mean, Hansi told us a little bit what happened, but not much, so I'm, just want to know.
Yes, well, we don't really feel like sharing the experience.
Mel looks her dead in the eyes and says he was possessed, and now he's not.
Alright.
You're not holding up the united front here, Alex.
I won't.
I mean, I will just say he's not possessed anymore as he is dead. So.
Yes.
Well, yes.
So, I cured him of his possession.
Oh, you did that then?
Oh, yes, I did.
Nice.
You have any other burning questions for me that are blatantly obvious?
Nah.
And please remove yourself from my physical presence.
Ace is still just pounding food and making faces at everything that's happening around him without.
Okay. Well, Vera's kind of scoots back over to her spot. Dinner continues.
I don't like her. She feels oily.
Listen, that's not very nice.
I will say that out loud.
Okay.
Please say it out loud. Please.
I know, for real. That way, Lady Kate can dislike someone greater than me.
I at least have some manners still.
Wait, did you say it out loud or did you not?
I did not say that out loud. I don't need to be shanked in the back. I don't know what my siblings are capable of. I don't go into this fight unknown.
Okay.
I'm at least something of a tactician.
Okay. Dinner continues on. Very light banter through the rest of it. As the food sort of starts to dwindle, Lady Kate looks at Verthandi and is like, after dinner, Captain, I would like a word. I would like to talk to you about the upkeep of your ship and one or two other things.
Okay, I have a favor I'd like to ask of you as well, so that works out perfectly.
Absolutely.
Is it all right if I bring my first mate along too, or just me?
I would like a word in private with you, if I may.
Okay.
Probably kill someone.
What?
Base would probably kill someone. He found out.
So, dinner eventually, peters off. Lady Kate stands and sort of motions for you, Verthandi, to join her.
Yep, I follow.
Okay.
I get up.
Both, she walks you, out of the hall, and begins to just, like, calmly, like, just walk down, one of the hallways. So, with your ship, I'm a little bit familiar with Skyship, but is there anything in particular I should know about its upkeep, its protection, if there are any enchantments you'd like us to lay on it while it is docked here?
I have all the protections set up for it, and it shouldn't be able to lift off without mine or my friend's control. So that should all be okay. I was just wondering if maybe there seems to be some damage to the bit of it from the landing. If you could get a sorcerer to fix it, it should be fine.
Absolutely. I will absolutely get someone to go look at that.
Thank you so much.
And it will be in, if I may, ship shape by the time you return.
Thank you so much.
Sure. You turn down a different hallway. I wanted to ask you something, Captain.
Yeah.
It has been a year since your trip to the temple.
It has.
And it has been... And forgive me, this must be a sensitive topic with you. That your mother attempted a coup.
Yes.
I cannot imagine that your relationship with her is one that is positive. And I wanted to ask you what that relationship with her was. How do you feel about her?
She's my mother. I don't hate her, but I can't love her.
She turns you two down another hallway, walking along for another few moments. Your mother must be brought to justice for what she's done. I wanted to hear your testimony, if you had one to give.
Testimony? What do you mean?
Did you know anything about what was going on, what she was involved in, who she was involved with?
No, I was her pawn. I don't like lies. I don't like secrets. I had no idea what she was doing. If I did, I would have never gone to that temple.
I imagine as much. I wanted just to ask you in person. She turns you down yet another hallway. Another question, if I may. Have you been in contact with your mother over this past year?
No.
Would you like to see your mother?
No.
She stops. All right. She turns. I believe that is all I had to ask, if I may return you to the hall.
Why did we come all this way out here? We didn't go to a room to talk. We didn't we're going to walk all the way down this hallway just to turn around and go back?
You said you didn't want to see your mother.
My mother's in the capital.
Your mother's here. Your mother's been under my personal control, well, no, my personal protection for the past month or so. She's been here awaiting her final verdict on her trial.
Why here? Why is she here?
The position that the Ornican family is in, I'm sure that you are aware, we hold a great political prowess within Faxalon. Our family was involved in stopping your mother's coup, and it landed back upon us to decide her judgment, to decide her fate.
Will she die if she's found guilty? What will happen?
That I cannot say.
She's through here?
She's what?
Sorry, she's through here?
She's within the estate, yes.
Take me to her.
All right.
This might be the last chance. I need some answers.
Sounds good. Lady Kate puts her hand on your back and begins to lead you further down the hallway. You're in an area of the estate that the hallways have kind of gone from like decorative to you reached a hallway where it's kind of unsettling as you're passing like door after door after door after door, and you're kind of in shock a little bit at first, so you think it must be your imagination, but you lift your head up and look around, and it is door after door after door after door after door. You kind of swivel behind you, and it is door after door after door after door. You look ahead, and it is door after, and wallpaper's identical. The wood flooring just seems to go onward. It's a very unsettling image, and Lady Keith is she has her hand at your back, and she is staring ahead of her, walking with purpose. After another moment or two, she stops with her hand on your shoulder and turns to the door on her left and knocks. After a moment, it opens a little bit. You see the eye of Dragonborn kind of look out at her. She looks back in. She mutters under her breath, "I have flown true." The door closes and you hear a series of locks being undone, and the door fully opens. And she takes you and puts you in front of her, and you both walk in, and the door closes. What you see in front of you, the room is plain. It has a wood floor, side paneling, wallpaper. On each of the three walls that are in front of you, there's a candelabra, like a sconce on each one. Each of them has a torch in it, dimly lit. But in the far side, at the far side of the room, you see the outline of your mother sitting in a chair, facing away from the door. To either side in the corner, you see two Dragonborn, each holding a staff, dressed in servant's clothing, like the rest that you've seen. It is quiet. Your mother doesn't move. She's dressed in very simple clothing. From what you can see from behind, she has her head kind of like bent. You just see like her shoulders and the outline of her neck. As the door closes behind you, Lady Kate has her hands on your shoulders. Adela, you have a visitor. In the form of your mother kind of sits up a tiny bit in acknowledgement, but she doesn't say anything.
Mother?
At that, her back stiffens and she lifts her head. Barthandi?
Yes?
She turns to look at you, and it's a little unsettling. It's your mother, but her features are a bit gaunt. She looks very tired. She doesn't look like injured in any way. She's just tired looking. And she turns and she locks eyes with you, but she doesn't move. Her hands are like gripping her chair. and she looks at you, and then she looks at Kate, and she looks back at you again. She looks at Kate again and goes, "This is too cruel." Lady Kate kind of looks at her. I don't understand. She kind of looks at Kate again and looks back at Rathandi. She's not real. She's not here. Why would you do that? And Kate kind of pushes you forward a little bit.
Mother, it's me. I'm here.
She keeps glaring at Kate. She doesn't look at you.
That's nothing new. Mother, why did you send us to the temple? Why did you send me there? Why did you want me to kill Bay? It's me.
Her eyes kind of unfocus for a second, and they kind of drift downward, and you see her, like, body slump for a second. Sorry, I'm gonna make eating popcorn. Just crunch. But her shoulders slump for a second. Her eyes unfocus, and she looks at the floor, and then she lifts her eyes back up and finds yours again. Rathandi! Oh, it's you! You're here! Oh, my darling, I've missed you so much! And she goes to stand.
I'm gonna back up. I'm backing up.
Yeah, the two Dragonborn immediately step forward and put hands on her shoulders, and she gets pushed back into her chair. And she looks at you, and just kind of tears start to well up in her eyes. I thought you were dead. I didn't. I'm so sorry.
No, I can't do this, Mother. That's not. No, I'm not dead. Why would you send me to die?
I didn't think that you would be sent to death. I thought that you were going somewhere on an adventure. You always loved adventures. You always talked about going on adventures. I thought I was sending you on an adventure, and then you weren't coming back, and you were never coming back, and I was never going to see you again. I had to do something.
Something? Why did you want me to kill Bay?
Faxus. It's Faxus. He betrayed me, and he had to pay.
But his dad doesn't like him. Why would that be the answer? The only person that would hurt is me.
She kind of, like, her breathing is kind of labored for a second, and her eyes are searching the ground. The two Dragonborn kind of back up after forcing her back into her chair. You would be fine. You would get over it. It would be okay, and it would be us, and we would be fine. We could have been free.
Mother, with you, I would have never been free.
Her eyes kind of unfocus again for a second, and her body, like, further sort of sinks into her chair. You could have had everything.
Sorry.
You could. The land could have returned the way it was. You just don't understand. You're too young, and you don't know any other way. I could have shown you. You could have known all of these things.
I've seen your way, Mother. I've lived your way my entire life. Everything I know is because you taught me it.
And we've had a good life together, haven't we, Rathandi?
No, Mother.
No. You're right. Your father, he's been meddling in all of it. He went off that he didn't love me anymore. Your father was the one who came between us.
No, Mother.
She kind of descends and, like, she curls up a little bit and she puts, like, her head in her hands, just wide-eyed staring at the floor, and just begins to just mutter. After a moment of muttering, she, like, reaches her hand out as if to cast a spell, but nothing happens. So she looks at her hand, and she kind of raises it, and she looks, and then puts her head back in her hands and just begins rocking back and forth, muttering.
Lady Ornica, I can't do this. I can't do this. She's, like, shaking.
Yeah. Kate, sort of steps to the side of you and looks between the two of you. Would you like to leave?
I need to leave. I can't do this.
Absolutely. She turns, and goes to open the door, and Lady Adela has looked up, sees you're about to leave, and just roars and tries to launch herself at the pair of you, but the two the two dragonborns that were stationed in the room grab her and wrestle her back into her chair, and she just starts screaming for you to come back as Lady Keith pushes you out of the room and shuts the door. As soon as the door is closed, her screams stop. Or, like, the door stops her screams.
She's shaking. She's, like, shaking. I can't do this. I can't. I need to go.
That's alright. I will lead you back to your friends. She begins walking. Yeah, she, like, keeps a hand on your back a little bit, and then once you're out of the corridor with the many rooms, she lets go and just, you walk back through these hallways. Now, you eventually get to hallways where servants are bustling about a little bit, and she shows you, back to our base. Would you, if a servant was like, would you like to go to your room, sir? Would you like to wait in the hall, or would you have gone back to your room?
I mean, he would probably wait and be, like, not pacing per se, but wherever he had a spot to, like, just, like, fidgeting and, like, waiting and tapping, so he doesn't, like, trust this situation.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't have gone back to his room.
Okay. So Kate leads you, Verthandi, back to the main hall and just kind of opens the door.
So I see her, like, right away.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna, like, stand up quickly, like, noticing, like, how, like, she's, like, upset. And he's gonna be like, Verthandi, and then he's gonna look at Lady Kate, and look back at Verthandi. She's
just gonna look at Base, nod, and then, like, close the door behind Verthandi.
Verthandi.
Hey.
What did she do? What did she say?
She's here.
Who?
She's here. She's here. She's just gonna collapse to her knees. She's shaking.
Oh. He's, like, right at her side, like, immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Verthandi. Your mother?
She's here.
We can leave?
No, I think she's not going anywhere, but I tried to talk to her. I thought I thought maybe I could find the reason about everything behind the temple. And she's still not there. She's still gone.
He's just like gathering her up into his arms.
She's still gone. It was like back then.
You don't have to talk about it. You can if you want, but you don't have to. There's like no one else. There's no one else in here, right?
Yeah, I mean, there may be like a servant cleaning up, but like everyone else has been shown back to their rooms.
If there is a servant, he glares hard a little bit.
The servant kind of like sees the situation, is like, it's fucking possible, and then is like,
she wants to blame it on everyone but herself. Your dad's fault, so I should kill you. It would hurt me, but I'll get over it. It's father's fault. He doesn't love her anymore, and it's because of him, not because of her. She still thinks she can control me.
This isn't new information to you. You remember what we say. It doesn't go away. It's still hard. You know how to fight this. You can.
Can I?
You are a captain of an airship. You're not 10 years old again. You're not 15 again.
It was easy to forget her when she's far away. But she's still there.
She'll be far away again soon. I have something to show you. Come on.
Okay.
He's gonna take her hand and lead her through the castle up to the roof that Hanz showed them earlier.
mm-hmm.
And lead them out so where they can see all the stars above in the sky.
I'm just gonna be quiet for a bit, okay?
Mm-hmm. Do you want me to stay?
Please.
Alright.
Okay. So. So, Hanz, Nezard, and Mel, after dinner, Berthandi was pulled away.
Yep.
Dinner finished up. What would the three of you like to be up to?
Since I don't know when we're leaving, I'd like to go and visit the gardens while I'm here. I know how to get there, so.
Mel will ask Nezrin what you... Nezrin! Nezrin.
I was on mute.
Oh. Sorry, say something. Go ahead, Liz. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if no one else needs me, I'm gonna go back to that book I pilfered and read the book. But if Mel wants to do something,
Mel is going to actually keep you away from the book.
I don't want a book.
Maybe you can borrow the book.
The book.
The book will still be there after we get back from this. You can read it. You can read it tonight instead of going to bed, and then when you get back on the ship, you can sleep.
You know I can't see, right? So wherever we're going.
That's why I said read the book now. Not now, but later now. And then when we get back on the ship, you might not be able to take the book with you, then you'll be able to sleep on the ship.
Okay, but wherever we're going, I'm not going to be able to see.
We're going to go anywhere other than your book.
Okay.
Where do you want to go, Nezrin?
I don't... The library?
That doesn't include books.
You've been inside a library for how long?
Year, and I quite liked it there.
We're gonna get some fresh air. We're gonna go outside.
I don't want to go outside.
We're going outside. You need
I was outside yesterday, and the ship fell out from under me, and then we
Well,
crashed.
We're not on a ship. I was with you when it almost crashed. We all both almost died. I get it.
Yes.
That's why we're going outside when there's no...
It's safe. And there's books.
It's safe
No one
in the
bothers.
garden. It's safe in the garden.
I don't care about gardens.
I'll tell you what
I
happened.
mean, I could tell you everything I know about horticulture. It's not a lot, but I do know something about horticulture.
Wait. Base is still here, right? Base didn't follow Rithandi, right?
Correct.
I guess. Oh God.
Base, are you still sitting at the table?
I mean, this is like a flashback at this point.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Base?
I'm sitting at that table, like, tapping on it, being, like, really annoying to no one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Servants keep trying to like offer you food because you're like still sitting at the table. So they're like, dessert, sir. They like keep trying to like give you food.
He, like, takes dessert, but it just sits around him, like he doesn't eat it.
Poke at it.
Yeah, he mushes it with a fork.
Yeah.
Nezrin, you have to help me with this.
what am I helping you with?
Remember when we went shopping? And Rithandi brought up a something that we started to talk about. We never got to finish. Maybe Base will tell us.
Wait, what?
Hey, Base! Hey, Base!
Wait, what?
You two just come, like, bursting through a door somewhere.
We like
No, they're still in the hall.
I started to walk away, and then I like run back.
If I'm not being dragged, I'm gonna stand where I was and go towards my room.
Yes.
So let's finish our conversation from a couple days yesterday.
It's been like 24 hours.
He, like, looks around, like, and then looks back at her, like, are you serious?
Yeah. I guess it wasn't our conversation, it was more of a Hanz Rithandi conversation, but still, we're gonna talk about this.
Please, Mel, enlighten me.
So I hear Rithandi has a brother.
Yeah,
Oh,
she does.
this.
And? Is that why you guys don't get along anymore?
What?
I don't know, you guys seem like weird since we got back. What's her brother like?
Like a smaller, no, well, yeah, it's like another version of her.
Smaller than her? I mean, it's really hard to be smaller.
A little more violent.
I like him already. What's his name?
Caden.
His name is Caden.
Caden.
His name is Caden.
Nice. How old's Caden?
I don't remember. It wasn't important.
Okay, you are super helpful. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's a pleasure, Mel.
Okay, I'm gonna head wherever. I'm gonna go look for a Nezrin in the gardens, because I'm like, oh yeah, I told him to go to the gardens. I'm gonna go to the gardens.
Okay.
Mel's gonna go to the gardens, I guess. I don't know. Mel wanders.
Okay.
I left. You should probably follow me. I'm not walking that fast.
Yeah.
If I find you and you weren't heading to the garden outside, we're heading outside.
Steve.
We're wandering somewhere, Nezrin.
Fine.
Okay.
Leave Danny alone.
Library.
Now, as you start to make your way, toward the garden, the route that you kind of know well at this point, Virus is leaning against, the wall, she has a dagger in one claw, and she's, like, tossing it a little bit. And she looks up as she hears footsteps approaching. So,
Oh dear.
where are you off to?
Where?
Well, my house. I think you should tell me where you're going.
I don't actually know yet. Just outside somewhere.
Do you mind if I accompany you? I don't necessarily trust a Rakeel in my house.
Oh.
Of course. Come on.
Oh.
Gladly.
We go outside.
Who's following?
I'll probably just walk Nezrin around the maze garden stuff, wander around, describe things to him.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, look, this is a tree. When you go outside, you can breathe the air it gives you. And they also make books. You can take this tree for your books.
I want to be out here.
There's a bush over here. That's the bush I hit something in one
thrilling.
time.
Really? Oh, that's great. That's thrilling. I'm so
Can I hear them from my little seat at the gazebo?
This is thrilling. I'm so
You
excited.
might after a minute.
Yeah.
There's a gazebo. Oh, look, Hanz is sitting in the gazebo.
Oh, that's great. Let's interrupt Khan.
No,
You're
we're not gonna
wonderful.
interrupt Hanz.
Such a great conversationalist, Mel. My God.
Only the best for you. We're not going to the gazebo, Nezrin. Don't worry.
Okay. I didn't know there was a gazebo.
There's a gazebo.
Okay.
And she does one of those, like...
Jesus.
And we continue. What else do you want to do? What else would you like to see out here, Nezrin?
I can't see anything.
I know you can't. I know. Not Nezrin. I'm just...
I just don't want to be out here. I'm not sure why I'm out here.
I know.
I had a
Because if I'm out here by myself, this one or her mother is going to hurt me, and that's why I brought you along.
You are a guest in our house. We wouldn't hurt you.
What did you do, Mel?
Fine, Nezrin, let's go to the library. I'll take you to the library.
Actually, Mel, I had a question for you.
Yes.
Why did you rob my sister's grave?
You did what? I knew you did something.
That's in real quick.
Okay.
Real quick. Thank you.
Please explain.
Mel is, like, visibly uncomfortable.
What did you do, Mel? I mean, I'm not judging you because, you know,
So, okay, first
technically
of all,
grabbing grades is how archaeology works, so, you know, I'm not going to judge you for it.
Mel, like, gently puts her hand on Nezrin's mouth. Be like, give up. No, I'm not smothering you. I'm like, it's a gentle, like, if you want to know, you have to stop talking.
Okay.
I came to visit, found out my girlfriend was dead, decided I wanted to see what was here, and in a moment of panic, someone came out, I got frightened, I ran away, cloak was still on me.
Wait, cloak? What cloak?
I borrowed a cloak. It was her cloak, okay? I borrowed, and I'm like yelling it now at her.
Are you in her room?
No, it's in the.
Hans, you can definitely hear this now.
Wait.
Just listen. I borrowed the cloak because in a moment of panic and fear, I ran, and I freaked out, and then I went to Hanz, and I hid it because I was gonna put it back, but I was afraid because Lady Ornican already knew, and she's like just hyperventilating.
Can I find Mel's
I was gonna put the cloak back, and I just
slowly, like...
I want to send a message over to Mel, like, you're right over there.
It happened. It happened. I took the cloak. I don't regret taking the cloak. It was an accident, yes. Do I regret it? No. I miss my fucking girlfriend, okay? And I found that she died. And now I'm leaving. And she turns and walks out.
Take me with you. I don't know where I am. I'll follow her. I'm assuming I can feel her footsteps.
I'm stomping. I'm like stomping.
Yeah, I'll follow the footsteps.
As you walk away,
Kick a bush or two.
Yeah, I can hear her. Yeah, I know where Mel is.
you start to walk away and she yells after you, she probably wouldn't want you to have it anyway. You smell weird.
I've pulled up a middle finger at her.
Oh,
in the general direction.
Mel stops in her tracks.
Can I send a message to Varys?
You can't just stop walking. I'll run into you.
Sure.
Tread lightly. You don't know exactly what you're dealing with yet.
You get a mental.
Fools rush in.
Mel is just like, oh,
Mel.
yeah,
Mel.
yeah. Nezra?
Why don't we go see? We're outdoors, right? Is there different outdoors?
Yeah,
Why
sure,
don't we
let's go, Nezrin. And
Let's
she
go
like
to a
grabs his wrist and is like
outdoors.
dragging, like,
Okay, I'm going.
and just flicks her off behind her.
She wouldn't really love her, Akil. You're kidding yourself.
Yep, like, go outside, keep to the outside, you know, you're gonna show me more outside, let's go more outside, let's go to the other outside.
And she's like repeating out loud to herself, I'm gonna fucking kill her, I'm gonna fucking kill her, I'm gonna fucking
You're
kill
a
her.
slimy bitch!
Fucking kill her. Fucking kill her. And she like is messaging this to Hanz too. I'm gonna fucking kill her. Let me fucking kill her. And she's just walking away. Going.
I'm being dragged.
There's like she's like oozing acid. I don't know if that's a thing. She can't breathe hot breath or
Your brother's the better one of you. Your youngest brother's the better of all of you.
Oh man, I thought of a great comeback.
You can walk back there and say it.
And this is why Hanz is the heir.
Yeah, Hanz is the best of all of you.
You have message, don't you?
I'm yelling in your general direction.
You just hear laughing.
Oh my
You just
god.
hear high-pitched laughing behind you.
I hate her so much.
You're a slimy ass bitch.
I have to add her name to my list. Yeah, I have a list.
Oh, I'm never coming back here alive.
And this is why I don't like them, Nezrin.
See, how did... Man, Han's got the good genes in the family. Where did those two come from? I mean, I guess his brother isn't bad. He didn't really talk, but his sister is a piece of work. I feel sorry for him. At least my sisters are somewhat agreeable people. I mean, the youngest ones are like 3, so, you know, personality's still developing. Have I told you about my sister?
I just met her.
Oh, yes, you have met her. She's a lovely person. Dealt with me a lot, you know, in all of my eccentricities.
Mel's still fuming.
Okay, outside, you were going to take me to other outside that doesn't
We're
involve
just walking.
assholes.
Look, there's a
Okay.
tree.
I'm sure it's lovely. I
Another
can't
bush.
see it.
Punch.
Please don't hurt the wildlife. Or the
Fuck.
flora. Please hurt neither the flora nor the fauna.
I just keep going.
Can I go back to the library now? Do you want to go to the library? I'm sure there's some
Nezrin,
interesting...
go to the library. Enjoy your books.
I don't know how to get there.
Fine.
Do you want... Where do you want to go, Mel? Do you want to go somewhere?
I want my fist to go in her face, but I'm not allowed to do that, so we're going to
that
the
would be-
library.
Okay, alright. The library sounds great. I'm sure there's a nice section on, fighting? Do you have hobbies? What do you do? I don't actually know what you do in your free time. Do you have hobbies?
Yes,
I know.
punched it.
Okay, I'm sure there's like some punching manuals. Why don't you tell me about your girlfriend? She seems nice.
Yeah, she's great. She's dead.
Well, I mean, is she nice?
You met her.
You met her.
I mean, was she nice as a partner to you?
Yeah, she's great. I like her a lot. No.
Confusing tension. But I also don't want to die by the sister of Hanz, so...
I really wanna use... I wonder if I could do this. Aston!
Please don't
Yes,
tell me.
darling.
DM! I have a question.
Yes, player?
What kind of animals are in the vicinity? Are there like birds around?
Yeah, I mean, they're probably a rabbit or two.
Are there bats out at night?
Is there like a bird?
Yeah.
If I used a spell to talk to the bird, can I like persuade it to do something for me?
Potentially.
Nezrin, give me a second. I need to do something.
Okay, I'll stand here.
I'm going to a bird, and I'm going to cast, for the first time ever since I've made this character, speak with animals! And I'm going to talk to this bird! And I want to convince the bird to do a favor for me.
Okay. So, first of all, roll me a perception check.
19 plus...
Oh, you easily find a fucking bird. You just like stop. You let your kind of search around for a little bit, and off in one of the hedges to your right, you hear kind of a little hopping around, a little rustling of leaves. Nowhere, but you can find a bird. Yes.
Bird!
Hello.
I need your help. Please.
What? You're. I don't know how you're right. You can speak to me. The dragons here don't usually. The big scaly ones don't usually speak to me. The large lizards.
Yeah, because I'm a cool large lizard and they're mean, scary large lizards.
Okay.
I talk to a lot of animals. It's fine, I promise.
You food.
I can get you food. I can get you food.
Okay.
Okay, what kind of food do you like?
I like bread.
I get you 3 bread.
That's so many.
If you do this thing for me.
Okay, what do we have to do?
Large scaly female dragon. See her? Do you see her? Do you see her? That's how birds talk.
I see you.
Silver one. The silver one. Fly up a little, see her?
Kind of hops, and hops to the top of the hedge.
Flicking a dagger, a sharp, pointy, shiny thing?
No. Get food.
Not if you don't poop on her. Poop on her, and I will give you 3 breads.
But I haven't eaten. There's nothing in here. I can't do that on command. Give food. I want food. I don't have food in a while.
I throw a roll at Mel.
You don't know what the bird is saying, but
I hear you saying food.
Oh.
You're saying food.
If you eat this roll, will you poop on... Oh, I have my picture stone! I show her a picture of the asshole. Do you see this?
Bird kind of.
If you saw her in real life, would you poop on her for me?
Give food.
I have a roll in my hand. I will give this to you if you poop on her.
Okay.
I give her the roll. I give the bird the roll. But you don't poop on her. You are gonna forget how to fly.
I don't know how that's possible.
It's called broken wings, man. Poop on her.
Okay. It takes the roll and it goes away.
Let's go, Nezrin. We're going to the library.
Okay.
We go to the library. I'm praying that Boomer poops on her.
Hoping it doesn't find me instead.
I took a picture of her.
Yeah, well, birds aren't that smart.
I don't have much of that long of a memory span, honey.
You know what? Alex isn't much of a bird person. Doesn't really like them.
It's okay. Listen,
work.
Probably cathartic for Mel at the very least.
To yell at a bird and threaten to break its wing. Real cathartic.
I mean, birds can hold ideas in their minds.
Yeah.
For a while.
Yeah, guys. Listen to the bird person.
Not an expert ornithologist, but birds understand you can train them with positive reinforcement to do things. So I mean,
With positive reinforcement.
Positive.
I don't know. Threatening to break its wings is the best move, but
It's fine.
I also was gonna eat that bread later.
I'll get you a new one, Nezrin.
Okay.
You want a mashed cake?
I will take a cake. Oh man, I
I
could really go
regret
for
everything. Every time I come to this place, things go wrong.
I really want cake.
Anyway.
I hate Ornican.
You You want to raid the kitchen? That would be good. We could get other things other than bread.
Sure, let's go. After you, Nezrin.
I don't know where the kitchen is, so
Well,
lead on. I'll walk in a straight line. I hope I don't run into a wall.
I follow Nezrin / make sure he doesn't run into anything.
Thanks.
Okay. Sounds good.
I punch
Hans.
bushes as I go by.
Yeah. Hans heard the majority of that.
I'm sorry I called your sister a slimy bitch.
But she is.
Not saying anything.
I mean,
Oh.
Nell's more afraid of Lady Kate than your sister, so
yeah.
she
I'm
ain't.
wearing my armor. I have a 19 AC. I'm not.
I'm not wearing any armor, so I'm
No
squishy as
one's
hell.
wearing armor right now.
I'm not wearing armor either. But if she comes after me while I'm wearing armor, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Right now my AC is 3.
3?
Without the armor on.
Well, it should be 10 plus your dex.
It's 10 plus your dex.
So now it's right now it's 11.
Okay.
So is mine. You and I are just as squishy as each other.
Alright, Hans. What else would you like to do with your evening?
Evening. Frankly, just have a little conversation with this gazebo too, because that seems to be the fun thing to do that all the kids are doing these days.
What kids are up to these days?
Yeah, just like the usual. Wish she were here. Was she always this rowdy? That kind of thing.
Sure. Is there anything else people would like to do before they turn in?
Cry into bed.
I figured that was a given.
I'm going to read this book, and then when it's like, I don't know, I'm sure there's some, like, hour bell or some dude who, like, called, I don't know, is there some passage of time notification?
Are you in the library?
No, I'm in the room.
Oh.
This book I've absconded with.
No, I mean, there aren't really, like, any sort of bells or anything. You're
Okay.
kind of left on your own. I will say, though, as a side note, where are you reading your book in your room?
Probably on the floor.
Okay. When
Mel,
you go to get into bed, you pull back the covers and you go to like lie down. Your hand touches something kind of squishy.
Is it warm?
Like kind of like the really uncomfortable lukewarm.
Is it smelly?
It's slimy.
Oh my god.
Is it a snake? Is it moving?
No, it's actual like goo.
Oh.
Her bed has been slimed.
because you called his sister slimy.
Okay, that's when I was looking on the floor. Sleep on the floor. Whatever.
Actually,
Like, what if the top is like the whole thing, or is it like the cover?
No, it's just like the sheet on the bottom.
Oh, is there like a top blanket that's not slimy? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll pull off a top blanket and just like sleep on this backpack.
oh god.
It was worth it.
You do that.
Mel is punching shit in her room. Not like things that can break, like the pillows and the bed and
I'm gonna put the book in my backpack
the air.
just in case no one asks about it.
Yeah. Stealing shit.
Not wanting people to steal books, Evan?
Hey, that was from an important central capital library that is a nexus for knowledge in this
I
country.
didn't steal from the
It says-
Capitol Library.
We stole from your library.
We stole from your library.
know that you stole from my library. That's a personal affront. These are not technically my books, so it doesn't matter. There's a saying like no one can steal my books. I'm gonna ask I'm just putting it in my backpack so that, nobody, comes in the night and, one questions why I'm on the floor and two puts the book back. I am going to ask if I can take it, because technically Hanz, my friend, maybe he will let me borrow this book, because I plan to bring it back.
Sounds very familiar. Instead of a cloak from a box, it's a book from a library.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm at least, asking and not taking it from a dead person.
I was just found out before I could ask.
Okay. I mean, that's a reasonable thing. Just went too fast.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's also assuming that at some point, Faith escorts Mathondy back down to her room.
Yeah, I was gonna say she probably cried herself to sleep, on the roof. She tried to keep it together and couldn't, and tried to stifle her sobs in Faith and just fell asleep.
And he is going to take her like a small child back to her room.
Yeah.
And tuck her in there and leave her there.
Okay. Is there anything else anyone would like to do?
Kind of on the way up to my room, if I could track down a book about, just stop by the library and just bring this book up with me. If I could find something, about any memory magic, because he's still thinking about this.
Sure. Yeah, roll me investigation. With advantage, it's your library.
That is 15.
Yeah, you snag a passing servant to, or, well, no, you don't hide, it's your library. You kind of dig around, you search through one of the sections on, magic, and you find yourself a book that'll satisfy, or at least is, essays on, that is about brains and how magic affects brains and, psychic and mental magic.
Cool. I'll just read that before I go to bed.
Alright.
Or a few chapters, because that's a volume.
Sounds good. Alright, each of you drift off to sleep, some of you more comfortably than others, and that's where I'm gonna leave it for tonight.
I'm sorry.
God.
Okay, what the fuck?
Hate your house.
That was perfect, by the way, Aston. That was better than I imagined her. Shit. Shit. Thanks, baby!
I hate this place.
I want to leave you. I don't like this place. I like it a little better than my house, but my house is a library, but I also want to leave.
We're going to be leaving bright and early in the morning, I think.
Just let little warn. Well, at least I'm not falling asleep on the ship now. So, we're not being chased by a cult. So.
Yeah, I probably have wards on my doors.
Cult, and my mother is here, and
Also, I'm pretty sure that Base was the best behaved this episode. First time ever.
That's some brownie
He
boy!
did so well!
I am so proud of you, Base.
You did real good.
Hey, Mads, what you think?
I missed watching you guys. Now that I actually have free time.
I hate Ornican.
Never comes
Nothing's ever gone well in Ornica.
I'm sorry, Hanz, but I do not like your house.
To each his
I don't like
own.
your house.
the only reason I don't like your house is because my mother's here.
Yeah. I was gonna say, sure, your house is lovely. I don't like your siblings.
Yeah,
Well,
no.
I don't like your sister.
Sibling.
I don't know enough about your brother. He didn't really interact with me. He was a little bit rude, I must say. But
You're way away from you, nah.
yeah, a little bit rude. Kind of uncalled for, but, your sister's, the pushy, bitchy one. So,
I was trying so hard to be so good, Aston.
I don't what?
Trying so hard to be so
What's the
good.
matter? What's the matter?
Oh, yeah.
You did good!
Slimy bitch, man.
I'm so proud of you for not attacking anyone, even when provoked.
Get out of your sister, man. But I didn't want your mom to yell at me again.
Of course, I come in for the mostly diplomatic episode.
I know.
I mean, now that we're like not in the temple, these kids don't have that much drama every episode, but
This is a lot of drama, guys.
This is the drama-free zone. Lies.
Lies and slander. Total,
Alright.
total lies.
They just
Well-
have to worry about repercussions now.
I mean, my bed got slime, so.
Didn't punch anyone. I already won. I don't care what happens. We're
We had
fine.
no physical altercations this evening.
Not yet. I already know how the next episode's starting. The next session is starting.
how?
I can't tell you. You'll have to find out when it happens.
Next time on Dragonbards.
On Dragonbards!